It is Wednesday, 7:15, live from Virginia Beach, Virginia. It's me, Lynn Rene MacDonald, here for our live talk forum. We're going to wait a few minutes. I'm sure everybody's going to start popping on if they're not busy with summertime activities. Oh, I see a few people. Hey. All right. That said, this show is about metaphysical, everything and anything metaphysical, getting your questions answered from highest knowing of love. We teach love. This is what we do. We are live from the Institute for Christ Consciousness in the Copper Dragon here in Virginia Beach, Virginia. This is our live talk forum. You can come here live and sit in every Wednesday night at 7:15, as long as we are usually doing our show. This is what happens. People will come. You can come here on Facebook. You can call in. You can video call in. This is a forum to get answers from higher knowing about anything and everything that you guys want to know. Great to see you guys. I see you all coming on. And last week, we couldn't make it here last week because it's been a real challenge, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. In terms of our structure, the structure of our building, they're replacing the ceiling, and as many of you know, a lot of you watch our show regularly, it's a crazy story about a whole bunch of trying to get people to do the right thing. So they're finally replacing the roof, but with that, a lot of other things have come in, so we couldn't do our show last week because of the chemicals and the stuff falling from the ceiling as they're replacing the roof. So it's been a bit of challenge, you know. So we couldn't do the show last week, but we are here live this Wednesday. Our plan is to continue to go every Wednesday throughout to the fall season, probably September, October. We are going to continue to do our shows here. And this is about learning from higher knowing. So you can ask any and all questions. We always try to get your questions from the week before or the last time we had our show. We'll probably have some catching up to do in terms of, getting all the questions answered. But also, tonight we're going to do not only your questions, but we'll also have some really cool, super amazing metaphysical information for you. Higher knowing. This is what we do and teach. So you can ask about the collective. You can ask about your personal life. You can ask about anything you want. The show is on donation. It is guided from higher knowing of love. So how you donate, you can donate through PayPal in the traditional Earth World ways, through PayPal, through, what else do we do? Venmo. You can send a check or a money order or money to our shopping center here in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Okay, you can PM us to let us know, to find out the address if you need that or you need to do that or would like to do that. Okay, and also share what we do because these times are really wild times. The world is changing massively. It's really the battle of dark and light that we are enduring. These are unprecedented times, incredible stuff. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about the future and what's happening in the stars. We're going to do some answering questions that you guys have on a personal level, as well as questions in the collective, and some new information that has come in from higher knowing, God, universe, love energy to share with you guys that will really rock your boats and really be like exciting, neat, really cool shit, right? So lots of fun tonight, lots of fun. So thank you guys for coming. We have my assistants here. We have Jennifer to my right. We have Rachel to my left. We're all going through the same health stuff we've been all going through. In these times, many of us are challenged with our health, with everything that is going on with the world. And our own personal battles, right? Because there's personal and then there's the collective. So that said, thank you all for coming. I can see some people on here. Thank you again for coming. Rachel, can you just let me know who's on here, if you're cool with that?
We got a few different people on. We got Teresa, we got Kathy, Andrea, Jessie May, Crystal Farrier, I believe is how you say your last name. And I think I saw Wendy on here, but she kind of disappeared.
Okay, cool. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. Hey, guys. All right. Jennifer, by any chance, do you have questions from last week?
Rachel's got that question pulled up.
Okay, so I think we have one question from last week, but I also want to say thanks for your donations. You can donate through time, through sharing our stuff and sharing what we do as well. If I didn't include that in this last segment of donation talk, that's what I want to tell you guys too. And now we're going to do some of our questions from last week if we do have any, or from the week before, because we want to cover everybody. Okay, so go ahead. Could you please pass me? I got it. Oh, got it. Okay.
I think it's just Nikki from 2 weeks ago.
All right, is Nikki on?
She's not on yet that I've seen. Do you want to wait or?
Yeah, I would prefer to wait because I have some questions about Nikki's question. Nikki, I think had a question about gold notes, right?
She did.
Because we were talking about how to prepare security-wise for these times. Security is Capricorn and Cancer. It's all about security, the banking system, your structure, your grounding. So Nikki had a question in reference to gold notes, and I wanted to elaborate and ask her more about the question before I can really truly answer it, so I know what exactly she's talking about. So I want to be sure, and I'd like for Nikki to come on if she can and possibly give us those answers or work with us to get to the bottom of those answers. They'll be great for everybody in terms of what to invest in, what not to invest in these times for security purposes, to retain your wealth, to make sure that, in Saturn's Earth world, you balance here in our reality, the metaphysical, right, with Saturn's Earth world, and universal law of all that is. You balance those things, okay? So that said, you prepare an earth world for anything and everything in your security to make sure that you're okay. Thank you all for coming. I can see everybody a little bit here, unless I get my face right into the thing like crazy. I can't really see. That's why Rachel and Jen are here with me to help me to do the reading and see who's everybody here and answer the questions and help us out. So thank you guys. Thanks for helping me. Without these guys, none of this would be happening, and without higher knowing God, universe, and everything, we are all super blessed. Thank you, God. Thank you, love energy, and thank you all for all these great people in our lives here and everything that is. It's so fucking amazing. Thank you, God. Okay, that said, Rachel, what's the first question we got from? We got Nikki's. What about today? Do we have anybody have questions from today?
Not at the moment. I'm waiting on somebody to get back to me to clarify on something else. So far, no questions besides that one.
Okay. All right. So we ain't got no questions. What the hell, people? You've been gone for 2 weeks, right? All right. Or we've been gone for 2 weeks, right? All right. So I guess with this said, I'm going to fill you guys in on what I've been doing. I've been working at the ocean front. We've been busting our asses. We've been recovering, dealing with health crises and everything that's going on in these times of great change, right? Great transformation here on the planet. On a personal level, we are all going through it. Our deepest, darkest, most challenging, emotional stuff, the stuff that we don't want to let go of. We've talked about this in the past, so we're doing a lot of clearing and healing classes, okay? We've been doing them, a lot of clearing work on myself, and these times, universe, the stars, the channeling energy, so to speak, or the stars, which is the transit in astrology, is the catalyst for all the changes that are happening here and happen with us in our souls, okay? That said, we've been going through it. I've been working a lot at the ocean front, doing my thing, looking for other possibilities to get out there, guided by higher knowing. One of the things that I did have to learn or relearn, right, as in these times, sometimes we forget things that we already know, right, in our journey with universe, right? So what happened during this time, we went to do a live show, and the people at the bar where we were going to, it was like an open mic night, so we went there, we planned it out, we were going to go to this open mic night thing, and I was going to do my thing on stage there, and we set it up, we worked with God, we prayed on it, all this stuff, right? So we were going to go out there and we were going to do that. But what happened is there was a huge miscommunication. The people who were talking about, like the people who were in charge in the front of the restaurant and who were in charge of the restaurant, were not in sync with the people who were running the show, the stage show. So they told us we were going to have 15, 20 minutes, and it got all confusing. But then when we got there to actually do our show, we had 5. We had 5 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work for me. 5 minutes is barely an introduction, right? So that said, we got 3 different promoters who are promoting us and what we're doing, and we're working our asses off to keep what's going in our lives going. And these are those times. It's about finding new creative ways to bring in money, do your soul's mission, get what you need, work with God, work with universe from love and your new destiny, and to step into that. So this is what's going on with me and us. I got the oceanfront shows. We're doing that. Okay. We're also doing face painting at the ocean front. We're doing whatever we have asked God for to help us keep going in these amazing times, these challenging times. And we're remorphing our business. We're, without having to shut down. The very first thing I say is, God, what do I do? What do I do here? How do I make things work? And universe brings in the answers for me, right to me. And when they always come in, and this is for all of us in these times, when you don't know what to do, how to do, or have enough money, or keep things going, this is what you do. You say, okay, God, if I'm not making donations over here, and I'm not having any people come in because of the economy, and I'm not having this going on, and there's not really a lot of sales at the shop, what can I do to change all this, right? And I work with love, and I can sit down and say, oh, this sucks, and my life sucks, and I'm going to go down, and this bad thing's going to happen. No, 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 no. Everything is about the space of God you are in and working with love energy and universe. More than ever, in these times, the more alignment with love energy you are, the more it will take care of you. And my story is your story. And it's a perfect example. It's all of our stories. That universe, God, love is always there for us. So when I ask, universe brought me these avenues. Now we work with a couple different promoters. They're bringing me different avenues to do what we do and what is going to bridge these barriers, bridge these gaps, bring us out to the people for everything we've asked God for in our new destiny, because we're having to adapt or change, to higher knowing of love and working with this love for our destinies, This isn't just about me. This is about you guys. My story sets up an example here in Earth World for you. So when you don't think you have a job, or you can't make any money, or you're struggling, talk to universe. Clear your blocks. PM me, right? PM me. I'll help you out. Come on the show. Ask your questions. What do we need to do, God, to change this, to create what we need to happen here from love, for our dreams, our destiny? So this is what I've been up to, right? And then, of course, the reason I said, that, hold on a minute, I'm just looking for the right words with universe and my soul to put this into words. The reason I said with the show, with the live show, what happened is, thanks God for the best words to speak this now, please. The reason I said I went out, I contacted the show, and I went and I tried to make it happen, right? It's not about me trying to make it happen. And I had to be reminded myself, it's about God's time. When it is meant to be, it will happen. Just like God brought me the promoter, right? And another person or another promoter and other jobs all around me. And all I had to do was ask. I didn't have to go and search in Earth World. And that's what this is about that I'm talking about, right? But yet, in somewhere in my soul, I was like, well, I got to freak it out in my people space. I got to make this happen. I got to go out there and do this. And yes, it's a balance, excuse me, of doing an Earth World, but it is a balance always of working with universe and working with love. I put my shit out there. I went to the space. I asked universe. I work in this space, and I discovered that this isn't the place for me, that this is what's going on. So how, God, do I change this and make these things happen that I need to happen and that I'm asking happen for? And 98.999% of the time, you put it out there, especially in these times, and you wait for it. You wait for it. Yeah, right? So we're going to do a little bit of stuff in Earth World to open those doors. So I was in alignment to do what I did, but I also was reminded that universe will bring everything that I need to me in the best, easiest way. And that's how the energy of love flows. But we also need to know what to do, when to do, how to do by opening these doors in Earth World to make what we want and ask universe to happen, right? So now I'll be looking into different avenues guided by higher knowing, for example, like doing auditions and looking into stage shows and spaces like this for the avenues that we are being guided to go in. Now, if I do follow through on this is some new information, like new creative stuff the universe has thrown to me or given me, right? Through me asking and feeling, right? So I'm going to look into all these avenues locally and see where God leads us. And in the meantime, I'm going to keep doing all the events and promotional work and stuff that we're doing, right? With our shopping center here, doing our live programs, doing our classes, and going to the ocean front and doing our thing. We're going to keep following our heart, keep listening to universe, and we're going to be patient. These times require an incredible amount of patience because as people, and Americans especially, we want shit yesterday. That's like the human condition, when you're sick, and this has been a challenge for me too, man, just like with this mold sickness and poisonings and shit, all the stuff my family is going through, right? It takes time. It takes time to heal in Saturn's Earth world. So universe is physically teaching me, mentally, physically, spiritually teaching me patience. Patience, right? So having patience, it's not when I want it to be, like in the medical field. We want that magic pill that makes us better, so we feel better right away. And it doesn't mean there isn't tools to help and assist us to feel better, but we want to feel better immediately in all ways, right? And a lot of times we want the quick fix, right? But that isn't always what is best for us from love. We want to be authentic. We want to be in our hearts. Okay, so that said, this is about patience, people. Your dreams are coming. This is about working at different intervals, at different vibrations in your heart with universe and being patient. All right, being patient in here, learning patience, because this has been a hell of a road for me, learning patience as I get well from my unwellness, as my family gets well from this past year of crazy, unwellness that has been in our charts, that is in the grand design of all that is God, that is all part of our mission, right? It's all part of our learning, and we're learning patience, and this is what's going on, as well as, everything in God's time. Not Lynn's time, not our time exactly when we all think it should be, but in God's time. So this is what, we're all kind of relearning, and it's about being in your heart. It's about a whole new world. It's about doing things differently, morphing into new businesses, new ways, new challenges, new things. And feeling in your heart, listening to your heart, and creating these things to happen. And the barriers here in Earth World to open doors. Sometimes you have to do, like go to the bar and it doesn't work out and you get frustrated in your people space like we did. I was like, fuck. I'm like, you told me 20 minutes and now I get 5. Yeah, that doesn't work for me. So we left, and I know that that's not the space for me. I felt the energy of the crowd, the energy of the people. That's not the space for us. And universe was guiding us. Wait for it, Lynn, right? But also, I needed to go and do this to go through the motions, to open those metaphysical doors into my new future, to wherever universe and my soul has planned for the things that I ask God for to change the world on a massive scale. Right? Which means sometimes I'm not going to be doing the same old things that I used to do into the future. And we're releasing all this stuff. So we are now new people, new lives, being new in our hearts and in our souls. So this is the energy we're all going through. I don't know if many of you noticed that or not. I'm sure you guys will comment. Please do. Okay. Are they commenting?
A few people said that this week's been really rough for them. Or this time, it's just last month or so, it's just been like draining and exhausting and hard.
Yeah, and we just went to, the last moon was the Sagittarius, wasn't it? It was a Sagittarius full moon.
Yeah, Gemini Sag.
Yeah, Gemini Sag. Ooh, what a bear. That's about all your deepest, darkest fears, your darkest shit, releasing that. So, big, heavy stuff. So, yeah, thanks, guys, for commenting and sharing what you are experiencing as well, because then it lets people know that it's not just Lynn who's saying this, it's all of us, right? It's all of us. Okay, that said, I have more information, some really cool stuff, which I'd like to hold on to later on the show. Do we have questions, Rachel, or no? Okay, so we do got some questions. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Okay, so who's first?
Kathy Warmack is first.
Mm-hmm.
She's asking for guidance or what you get on her COVID test. I believe that she got COVID a week or two ago. I think she messaged about it. And then she's saying that she retested this afternoon and she's waiting on her results and she's praying they're negative and she's just looking for insight.
Okay, Kathy Warmack, hi, thanks for watching. All right, so the thing with the COVID test stuff, and I guess what I'm going to say for the rest of this is that we're going to call it the C word. And not my other dark C word, right? So we're just going to say the C word for I guess, all intensive purposes, so that we can talk about this without getting taken off of YouTube or wherever social media we're on, right? So thanks for your question. This is really a controversial topic with all the crap that is going on. I will tell you what I get from highest knowing of love energy about this is that the first thing, as you all know, because you've heard me speak about this before, even if your test comes back as positive, okay, this C test, and I'm not laughing at you or this, I'm laughing at what I'm calling it. Okay, let's see. Even if your test comes back positive, what the universe is telling me, it's not real. It's not real. 1 minute, and this has been true for the whole gamut of these last, over 2 years. Their shit doesn't work. It's all a whole bunch of bag of lies. It's not the God's honest truth. There's truths in everything. So their tests don't work. So for one guy, it'll come back positive. For another one, it won't. And this has been the general consensus that I see of what's happening with my clients, what's happening with other people. And it's a crazy hot mess. And it's all part of the grand design of the darkness to get you to conform to everything going on with their plan, right? Just like this Roe versus Wade stuff, right? If they focus your shit on this, then you're not going to pay attention to all of this, and then it divides us even more, and each thing divides us and makes us out of our hearts and makes us feel like we have to fight for these things that are very controversial things, just like the COVID test and the COVID testing. All right. But the truth is, it's all part of their grand design to put people at odds and take over the United States, the world government, and everything, with lots of toxic agendas behind the scenes. This COVID stuff, this C stuff, sorry, that you have, the truth is, and I'm just going to put it out there, you do not have this. All right, you don't. But even if they tell you they do, you don't. Right? It's like I had this one client he's like, yeah, man, I got the fucking flu, and they're telling me that I tested positive for the C word, right? So, but this is all part of this grand design of their fear mongering and then their testing. And the more you go through their tests, the more they indoctrinate you with their chemicals and their shit. Okay, so anybody here who doesn't believe me or doesn't, and I think you say, what is she saying there? I feel fine.
Yeah, she really feel fine.
And you see, and that's more proof of the truth of what's going on. You don't have to believe what I say. Ask higher knowing, right? Ask love energy, and this is for all you guys, because really this is a big scam, a big farce. What it is doing, what all of this is doing, it doesn't mean that there isn't a sickness. All right. But there's lots of sicknesses. And the deal is it's a mess. And they don't have the tools needed, because the tools that are needed to do anything remotely like what they really would like to do here with their science and shit come from here. Come from God, come from higher knowing. If they did have their shit together, this wouldn't be happening, right? This wouldn't be happening. Proof in Earth world. Lots of my people say to me, clients, associates, people I meet, the same thing is happening. They're getting tests. They're not really tested. They're not really sick. This is what's the crazy about all of this. So what this comes down to, Kathy, is it's kind of, you have to balance your belief system within yourself and with higher knowing of God, so that you can make the best choices for you with this. Okay? And ask universe, what's the God's honest truth here? Because really, this is about fear mongering. This is about, all the garbage, making you do this, conforming to their societal stuff, right? It doesn't mean that there's not a sickness. There's many different sicknesses. But what has become this is all the sicknesses have now become this. This is part of that, right? And I have lots of people who can validate that right here in Earth World, who are my clients, not to mention highest knowing of God or love. It's all bullshit. This whole thing is bullshit. Doesn't mean, though, that people aren't getting sick. It's part of the grand plan of the darkness to take over, right, and poison all the people or make the people sick or try to force them to get inoculations, right? right? So that, you know, they can take over here. And basically it's a form of poisoning, and it's going to lower your immune system, which is why, and all of this is in the stars, people. You can look all this shit up in the transits of the astrology. All right. So it's not like I'm making this shit up, right? You know, not to mention that my highest knowing of God or love energy hooks into everything that is God, astrology, and God, because it is the ultimate formula of love energy. It is. And it puts it in place here in Earth world so people can understand it. It bridges that gap from Earth world to the metaphysical, right? So the truth is, I don't feel like you're sick. You may have like a cold thing. It's ridiculous that they teach you or force you to do these kinds of things. You know, ultimately you make your own choices. I know lots of people who are giving up their health and doing these things so that they can travel and fly, and because their bosses and somebody says that they should. And this is a very touchy and temperamental subject. But the truth is, you never sell out your health. You never do. Your health is your wealth. Without your health, you have nothing. Doesn't matter what your destiny is. And as people get sick and sick and sicker, or if you know anybody in your life who gets sick or has been sick, who has cancer, who is really seriously sick, because it's coming. It's coming for lots and lots of people, especially if you're not God connected, or if you've been inoculated several million zillion times, or, you know, so, and also, you know, it will be in your astrology chart what your challenges are, all right, both for the collective. The collective is all that is in humanity. That's the collective. That's Pisces. That's the heart of humanity. It'll be in there, right? And what's so crazy about that is that Pisces, right, is one of the key governors of your lymphatic system. How wild is that? And it just so happens that the collective is the heart of all the people, right? And it's Pisces, right? And it's Pisces. Do you think that's an accident? Yeah. That right there tells you of the propensity in this energy for this poisoning that is happening out here in the collective in Earth world. Not to mention, we've talked about in the past, the North nodes, all right, transiting North nodes, what they bring in. Just like if you look at my personal astrology chart, it literally says that in my family, DNA and ancestry, and it's in my fucking chart, that my family has, in my astrology chart, over and over, in all these different layers, all these different placements in the stars, in my solar return, it's in my natal, it's in my subconscious, it's all over my fucking chart, multiple times. And it literally says that I have a propensity to be poisoned. Do you know what? My dad was poisoned. He became septic, right? Yeah. So all these answers are in the astrology for anybody who doesn't believe my shit or can't buy into the fact that we talk to God or love energy and do what it is that we do. You know, the bottom line is you all have these gifts that I have. But you can all look this shit up because you can find it in astrology. And what I call God astrology, that's what I do. I take everything that is God, love energy, and I work with God or universe or love to get to the galactic center, also in Sagittarius in astrology. The galactic center, I think it's either 23 or 26 degrees in your Sagittarius sign. Okay? Everybody has it. Everybody can tap into it. God's space in your heart. Highest knowing of love, right? So, this said, I don't feel you're not really sick. You can go through this process. I would beef up on detoxing to get rid of any of the chemicals that they put into you through the testing, any of the garbage that they put in through this crap test where they act like we're just going to test you for this. Meanwhile, they get more shit in your body that's toxic to you, you know. And so it's a hard medical field right now out there in Earthworld because we cannot trust what is really going on. So you have to really depend on talking to God and your God connection, your love energy, your heart connection for your greatest answers, for your greatest destinies, for what to do in these times when they're secretly doing this behind your back and secretly doing that. And meanwhile, they're throwing like Roe versus Wade in your face. So you're not paying attention to them, you know, putting out new gun laws, you know, making you take more tests and more inoculations and all this other shit that's going on here. Right. But this is really the God's honest truth. So I do feel you're going to pass this test. But if you can help it, I wouldn't do any more. Right. I don't feel that you're sick. I don't. And I truly feel that it's all bullshit, not necessarily, ooh, this is burning. Shit, we're having a little burn storm here. Thank you, God, for bringing me back to this now, please. So I feel that you're going to be fine, ultimately. But this is all part of the craziness that is going on with the world. And it is up to us, with highest knowing of God, to navigate. And you will start to see the truth of what's really going on by what is happening, right? If you guys have a Twitter feed, look on there. You'll see a lot of people who will tell you what's really going on in their lives. You know, heart failure, sickness. And it's not just on Twitter feeds. You can look up on I think they have a VAERS website, but who knows what sites they doctor and change. There's so much garbage. And a lot of the stuff that we've talked about already that they said wasn't going to happen is on the WHO. Is it the WHO website?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's the site. You know, so they're trying, I mean, so it's becoming real. It's becoming manifesting, so to speak, in this reality. So look at this stuff, people, because it's proof in Earth World that all of the stuff we've been talking about is not bullshit. And the ultimate proof that anybody should need is what you feel in your heart. What you feel in your heart. And highest knowing God. God, is this the God's honest truth? Don't try to force the energy. Sit and wait for it. It will come. You will see it. You will know how it feels in your heart, the words that come in, the pictures that come in, whatever somebody says out here, what universe shows you in your reality, because people are getting sick with immune issues, things that have never been out before, like the crazy monkeypox shit, right? Whatever name they put on that. This is all just autoimmune shit that normally doesn't happen when people are really well and haven't been poisoned. Or don't have a lowered immune system, right? So it sucks to be sick, and the best thing that you can do is start detoxing. How do you do that? It's great. There's a lot of great ways that you can do that. You can look it up, and start researching. Ask God. Always ask God. Talk to God. The best ways to do so. Some of the greatest ways we've talked about are detoxing through, I think it's bentonite clay, and what's the other one? Bentonite clay and something else. That's a combination, I think.
Charcoal?
Yeah, charcoal and bentonite clay. And again, look it up so you know what we're talking about. Ask universe to guide you to the best products. Also, vitamin C. Vitamin C is a great way. But also, your diet, what you're eating, people, what you're eating. Fruits, vegetables, lots and lots of fruits to beef up your immune system, okay? And I would start doing that to get these toxins out of you, Kathy. But I totally feel that you are fine. You're going to be fine. And it's hard because it's hard for you. It's hard for all of us because we want to travel and we want to keep our jobs and we want to do things. So it's so important in the moment to always listen to God. Like my brother has been working for a company for a while and they were trying to instill and make him force inoculate, and he just sat tight and waited and waited and waited, and now the water's washing over, and time is moving things forward, and now they're not so all over his ass. He didn't have to get the inoculation. He's not doing it as far as I know, and this is good, but we all prayed on it because nobody wants my brother to have to do that, right? But ultimately it's his decision, and I love him, and he has to do what he believes, but he doesn't even believe in what I teach and do. He has his own space of God, and we can respect each other because we love each other, and I don't have to conform him to my ways, and nor does he have to try to conform me, right? But I respect his decision making, but literally he knows not to do this. He knows not to get inoculated if he can help it. Yeah. So, but this is the world we're living in right now. Give it time. This too shall change. Work with God. Pray on everything, because don't think for a second that I didn't take my magic and send it out to him to help him. That's what we do from love. If we love somebody and we choose to do that, we send out that energy to him. And if he so desires, whatever he needs, God, let him be free of being inoculated. And the best situation for all of this for him, from love and for all of us. Regardless, and let me be happy with this, and so may he. And if he so chooses to grab this energy, it is his, from love. That's how you do it. I'm not forcing my shit on him. I'm letting him take that energy and grab it and go and do what he feels in his heart. And then he lives his life, I live mine. We can honor and respect each other, but we can both come to terms that something's not right here with what the fuck they're doing in the world. You don't got to be a fucking rocket scientist to figure that out. All you have to do, really, is be a genius in your heart, which you naturally already are, as long as you come from your heart. Yeah. Neat shit, right? Go ahead. You have something to say?
Yeah, there's a lot of comments with everybody is agreeing with you, saying they heard the same things, their neighbors are saying the same things.
Yeah.
What I thought was cool was Susie Lynn said that she didn't get the inoculation because God told her not to.
See?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the same thing with me. God, in fact, on Easter Sunday, I think I posted on my Facebook, I said, this is bullshit. And then I had like 300 people that were slamming me saying I'm a piece of shit because my grandmother could die and all the social, what do they call that crap?
Cancel culture?
Yeah, cancel culture. They were trying to be shitty and cancel culture me. I'm like, delete, 300 people later. You're not my friend anymore. And that's okay. And it's not because you don't believe what I believe. That's okay. But when you're a fucking asshole and you're nasty as shit on my fucking page, that's not acceptable. I don't care what the fuck you believe. Do you see? Because that's my page. That's my space. You don't dishonor me, my people on my fucking Facebook page or anywhere. Anywhere, because that shit is going to come back to you. But I, from self-love for me, can't allow that. Do you see? Yeah. So that's why that happened. Oh, yeah. And now these same people are calling me up, Lynn, we want answers. Could you help us? Could you tell me what's going on with this? But we don't talk about that. Funny shit, right? But there's no need to, because this isn't an ego space for me. Just like Susie Lynn said, God told her not to. God told me the same thing. God literally said to me in my own type of words, Lynn, this is bullshit. You know, and I can tell you visions and dreams and all kinds of shit about everything that I saw that is coming, right? And I've told you guys many of these things, as well as universe keeps bringing me new information, but anything I can do, you can do, and most of you already do. A lot of you might not be aware of it yet and are going to be stepping into this new destiny because it's all about being in your heart, and we all have these gifts. Incredible stuff. So, you're welcome, Kathy Warmack. I heard you say thank you. Thank you for everybody for sharing your stuff in reference to this. But this is the truth. You're going to see a lot more like 5-year-olds getting shingles, even dying of heart failure, people in their 30s, and then they go and say, like, this is normal, including the Justin Bieber shit. Yeah. Did you not hear the Justin Bieber and Hailey Bieber stuff? It's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But this, yes?
I was going to say, Susie Lynn and Jessie May both said that their fathers, after they got the inoculation, got really sick.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean that it has to happen right away, because there's a lot of people who go, oh, I'm fine, right? And then 3 weeks later they're dead, right, from heart failure. Or 6 months. I mean, look at your grandma. Yeah. You know what I mean? But then they'll claim that what happened to your grandma is because your grandma was old, right? Yeah, or somebody had an underlying condition. Well, the truth is, as long as you have shit to work on your soul, you're going to have some kind of health stuff going on. It's part of the journey here. It is part of the journey of being human, right? Mental health, physical health, spiritual health, all health, right? It's part of the journey of being human. And so you're going to see all this stuff, and as time goes on, I mean, and people going crazy on the roads, too. We talked about all this stuff. So just be aware that Earth world, right, Aries, action, doing, or Saturn's Earth world is going to show you literally what's really going on by what happens. Doesn't matter what I say here. I can tell you all these people died here or this happened. Same thing with the cows, the cows that are dying, right? Or the chicken farms that they're burning down. Do you think like all of a sudden there's a mad rampage of people who lost their minds and want to burn all these farms with chickens and cows? Are you fucking kidding me? Right? And then they say, well, there's some kind of weird bacteria or there's some kind of weird shit going on. Come on now. Right? I mean, this is just too much fucked up shit over and over. You gotta think like I'm fucking stupid. Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And there's just too much of it. Too much. You know? So your Earth world will show you what's really going on. So know that these things are happening. It's happening. You know? What's this?
Nothing. I was clearing something.
Oh, Jen's clearing stuff. Go, Jen. Go. All right. So that said, I hope that gives you guys really a great scope about what's really going on here. If you and know this, if you did get the inoculation, it doesn't have to be the end of the world for you, right? And I know I'm pretty detrimental when I speak here because I can't emphasize enough that of how I wish you all to be well. I want you all to be well. So the best way that you can be well, even if you got it, is higher vibrational stuff. Work with God. Work with love. Ask love for the solutions. Ask love to clear these blocks. Ask love for the best homeopathic vitamins, minerals, herbs, things that you need to be well, to heal from this, to release the toxins in your body, and all the answers will come. And we've talked about this stuff on your show, as well as what you're eating, so where there is love, where there is God, and working with that love energy on a continuous basis as much as you can is going to be your freedom from all this shit, no matter what it is, whether it's getting inoculated a bunch of times or not. Your highest vibration in your heart space, in your soul, all right, is you as your God connection. And this space with your God connection, which is this, guides you to everything that you need. Ask and you shall receive. Right? So it doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to die and all this other shit, but there's different vibrations here in Earth World. There's different people with different missions who signed on, and none of this is wrong, or you could say bad. It is really all part of the grand design of dark and light, basically different energies, duking it out, so to speak, for, right, the future of this planet and humanity, all right, and Earth World, right, all that is Earth World. It's this that is going on, and how you address it is totally up to you, all right? And toxic is toxic, well is well. Who do you want to be? What do you want to be? The more you're in your heart and come from love and put you first, from love for you in the healthiest, best way. And if you don't know how to do that, it's not bullshit ego. Like people say, I love myself all the time, but they're a mess with it. They think they know what loving themselves is, right? But really, this is how you love yourself. Being in your heart for you, working with love energy, clearing those blocks that are the deepest, darkest emotional deficits in your heart, in your soul, that stand in your way of your greatest health, your greatest dreams, your greatest wellness, the greatest everything that is you. Clearing these blocks is what is going to change everything, and working with love energy constantly raises your vibration, and you will always have more information, more doors opening, more incredible stuff coming in for you all the time, and all the answers and all the wisdoms, and you'll be in alignment with the love energy flow of all that is God. And you'll know when something bad is coming before it comes. The universe will talk to you literally, just like they did with Susie Lynn, just like they do with me. No, don't do that, Lynn. Do this, do that, do this. And if I get a feeling that I should do something, all right, I do it. I do it. Whether it's I need to go to this place, or I need to get this, or I need to get gold, or I need to stock up on this, or I need to do this, right? If I hear this, I feel this, I do it. Guided by higher knowing. And if I'm not sure, I ask love energy, is this what I should be doing, right? Now, I get people who say to me, well, what if it's something bad? What if it's something dark? My soul says that I'm a piece of shit. Well, guess what? That's not your God connection. That's your darkness and your magical, magical soul that's reminding you that you have shit to work on. So when you start beating up yourself and being shitty to yourself and feeling like a piece of shit, or having bad thoughts, or feeling like you want to kill somebody, you don't go out there and fucking do it. You ask God to free you from this energy, to heal it, to clear it, release it, connect to it, be free of it. Feel it, release it. Be free of it, and put the best way to be from love in the purest form in this reality, any reality, and all that is. But there is a distinct difference between speaking with love energy or God all the time and getting information, and the toxic darkness that's in your soul, right? That has to come out, that has to be released, of lifetimes of soul assimilation. Basically, a lot of us who are at this vibration of Christ energy, right? What happens are higher vibrations of Christ energy, God energy, right? What happens is we beat the living shit out of our souls, right? Because we understand that we love so hard and it sucks to hurt. So we assimilate that energy in like a PTSD kind of way, all right? And it can be in multiple ways, because the souls are super, super gifted and super, super unique, all to themselves, right? Jennifer's thing is Jennifer. She may be my sister, and we may be many ways alike, but we are completely different. We're completely different in our mold sickness, just as me and Rachel are over here. Yeah, we have different symptoms, right? Rachel's got a lot of crazy head shit going on, right? Where I have this physical shit in here in my emotional stuff, right? On the right side of my body. Isn't that fucking funny? My power side. So where do I not feel comfortable in power, or don't want to be in power, or I'm fighting myself internally in power, right? And not even just power, multiple different things. You know what I mean? And this is about me not feeling good enough in me. Right? Most of us don't even want to talk about this shit, right? That's my work so more often than not is so hard, because people have a hard time listening to their dark shit. They're like, oh, fuck, I feel like shit about me. Is that me? But that's really all of us. We all been through it, right? But the more you do this work, the more you get in your heart, you ask God that it's easy. You ask God that you can do it. You ask God that you quit freaking out about it, right? And you ask love for whatever you need. And the higher you vibrate and the more magic and everything comes together, and you have all the power, and you will always know what to do in these times. Guaranteed. And it doesn't matter what level you're at, right? Like tomorrow you start doing what we teach, and I'm sure many of you are doing it already, and we're doing it before you got on my show and know about this, because we're all those people, the high love energy God people, right? So many of you have been doing it, which is great. And so you already know what you need to do in this space. Hold on a minute. And my job is just to reawaken this here for all of us. And in me too. So the more you do your work, the better you're going to be. So I want to just return to questions. I'm sure we'll elaborate more on this and other stuff. Some really funky shit, man. Crazy stuff came in. We got a really cool new astrology book that I want to share with you guys, which is great. And what I love about it is it's practical and it's simple. It's called The Only Way to Learn Astrology. This is volume 2. Somehow I got volume 2 before volume 1, but I think there's a whole bunch of other volumes. I said to God, let me have this, however many volumes there are, and they're all here. There's all the volumes. You see them if you want to screenshot that, right? But it's The Only Way to Learn Astrology. It's a great fucking book. It puts it really nicely into words to teach you guys. For those of you who get crazy trying to figure it out, and it is complex, And then if you work with people who are in astrology that are really academic and elitist, or really super intellectual, it just makes it more challenging. The more practical, realistic, and logical, and straight up and simple we can be with astrology, the better. So a great book for all of you to read. So we were working on this week. It was fantastic information for everybody. So if you're interested and you like this stuff, hi, Mark Etheridge. I see you on there. All right. Thanks for coming. And thanks, everybody, for coming. Thanks for your donations, too. I don't ever want to forget that, saying thanks. Don't ever want to forget that. So thank you. Okay. So that said, new stuff with the astrology. Also, we got some information about Bill Gates. You guys are going to just fucking love this shit because it's crazy. All right. But first, I want to get to your questions. Who has questions here?
I think Jen's got the next one.
Jen's got the questions. All right.
Dee was wondering if she could get a healing. She was watching a show in which one of the characters was thrown overboard and dragged under the boat. And she says that that's a form of nautical corporal punishment, and it triggered a past life for her.
Wow. All right. That's wild. I hope you all heard that. Dee wants a healing from a past life of a television show that triggered her in her soul from nautical past life. It's kind of like a hanging kind of thing, huh?
Well, it's kind of like walking the plank.
Yeah, like the end, kind of like an Earthworld, the hanging, or walking the plank, or something like that, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, I'm going to ask God to connect to this lifetime for you, Dee, and that we connect to it emotionally in the healthiest, best way from love, that we release it, feel it, heal it, process it, release it, and be free of it from love in the purest form. And all energy that is all of this that you carry with you that is this. We release it, heal it, change it, be free of it. And in place of this, put the best way to be from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. And abundance from this place and that which is this as well. And in the purest form of love, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. Thank you, God, for these gifts for Dee, of clearing, healing, change, and release, and all that we're asking for now in creation. For this, for all of us now, please, and Dee as well. In the best way for us and all, or something better in our souls and in all we are, be, say, do, and create. And thank you, God, for that for us. Okay.
I'll say that for me.
So all I'm doing when we do this work is I'm taking the energy, putting my emotions behind it, the intent behind it, words, thoughts, heart, emotions create, and this makes this happen. Anything I can do, you can do. Okay. The more you do it, the more you're going to create things in your reality, the more you clear, you heal, you change your stuff, and that's how you do it. Okay? All right. Go ahead. Who's next? Love you, Dee. Thanks for coming. Thanks for your donations. Always. Thanks. Okay.
We got Teresa next.
All right. Teresa. Hey, girl. Hey.
She said that she's been in a major funk for a couple weeks, and she's wondering how she can rid herself from this and if this is planet-oriented.
All right. All right, God. What's the God's honest truth about what's going on with Teresa, please? All right. This is definitely planet-oriented. Everything is planet-oriented because it triggers stuff in our souls. So it's the catalyst of God in the transit to release the stuff. So if we looked at, let's say, your solar return chart, Teresa, that's a really good way to get a really good bead on this and compared it to your natal chart, or even just looked at it for the year, we can see where a lot of your challenges will be, right? So all you guys could Google solar return chart for 2021, which would be last year, to this year's 2022. Or if you've already had your birthday this year, you could do a solar return chart and do 2022, right? Because my birthday is until, let's say, October. So I would Google put in my birth date, my time, my place, right? But I would first Google free solar return chart. I think it's AstroDienst. You guys could do this and you could pull up your chart, and really easy. All you need is your birth date, time, place, okay? And put it all in there, and then you want to Google free solar return chart so you can pull this up. This will tell you, right, what is happening in the now for your year, right, for your year. Had I done that before I got sick, I would have saw the storm coming. Maybe I would have done something differently. Right? I would have saw the storm coming in a different way. But if I didn't, then I trust the universe that this was part of my destiny for going down this trip. For my soul's best learning and my soul's best journey. And you can say, well, I've been sick and I'm miserable and my life sucks. No. It's all part of what is making me, my best being, right? So going back to Teresa, your solar return chart is a great way to see where the planets and what is affecting you is affecting you. Ask love, Teresa, where this is. If you want to send it to us, we can do this for you now. But also what I feel like is this is all just part of your healing. You're in, like, it's almost like I feel like this funk that you're in is almost like it's like an oil. It's like the deepest, darkest stuff that, or like, how like rubber cement, you try to pull it and it pulls back, and you try to pull it and it pulls back. And it feels like that's the energy that is with this in your soul. This is why this is so hard to remove this stuff, because your soul is super gifted and super powerful and does not want to release it. I'm just going to ask universe, what is going on here? Something wrong? No. Okay. I'm just going to ask universe, well, what's going on here so that we can nip it in the bud and just clear it, heal it, and change it. And this is good too, because when we can't exactly put it into words, right? Like when you say, what's going on with me? All right, I'm just going to ask God for the God's honest truth, and the answer will come. And in case it doesn't come, like right now while we're in the show, it will come. All right, and trust the universe. The answer always comes. But in the meantime, like say we're in a rush or we want to continue with the show, I can just grab all of this energy that Teresa is talking about now, please, God. Let me grab onto this, and we're going to take a scissor, and we're just going to cut it right the hell out. Right? Kind of like every like psychic surgery, kind of like that kind of shit, except it's metaphysical, right? So we ask universe and we see a vision. We ask universe for these gifts. We clear this out of her. All energy that is all of this, God, that is keeping Teresa in this crazy glue space that you're showing me. Please cut this out. Let her be free of it now, please. Let us connect to it. Let her connect to it emotionally and in all the energy that it is. Let her feel it, heal it, process it, release it, and be free of it in the healthiest, best way from love. in all that it is, all energy that is all of this. And in place of this, put the best way to be from love in the purest form, in this reality, any reality, and all that is. Thank you, God, for these gifts now, please, for Teresa and her soul, and for all of us in our souls, and all we are, be, say, do, and create, and all that it is, in the best way for us, and all of something better. And thank you, God, for that for us. So this energy work, words, thoughts, create with emotion and intent, starts to create this to happen instantly. So this is happening. Now you will find it. Ask God. If you send us your chart, we'll tell you, boom, right there, and the answers will all come in. I do feel it is layers of stuff, and it has to do with lovers. It has to do with heated, intense relationships from lifetimes. This is all the stuff that they're telling me is coming out of this energy, okay? In other words, passionate, long-term, bonding relationships, being in your heart, releasing this energy, sadness about this, sadness about having relationships like this that are lost, sadness that have not, that you can't have this or don't have this in all its entirety in this reality. Anger, resentment, there's all kinds of sexual energy tied up in this, but it's like a sludge of just bits and pieces and things, not necessarily like an entire lifetime or lifetimes. It does have lifetimes strewn in there, but it's a whole it's almost like a jar of rubber cement, you know what I'm saying? So it's really in there. But this is the energies that you're releasing that they're telling me. And there's an incredible sadness here. There's an incredible sadness. There's a lot of this energy that's what I wish could be. And even though you may not be able to understand this in words, and you guys may not be able to relate to this energy in words, know that it is in the energy of the subconscious soul. So much of this work that we're doing right now is that, right? Just like all this pain and the shit that I'm going through in my physical health, as I remove this stuff and do what we're doing here, Teresa and everybody, right? As I do the work that I do, that is this, because I'm incessantly working on healing my emotional shit, because Capricorn moon does that. It buries its stuff, and it's not just Capricorn moon, it's Scorpio stuff. It's Scorpio placements. It's a bear, right? And multiple other placements, but I have buried my emotions in my body for lifetimes. So, and in this lifetime as well, smashing them down, not allowing myself to have feelings. And the relationship that I had with my mother in this lifetime as a child facilitated this, right? Because my mother wasn't well, right? And I wasn't well when I came in, which then would create this to happen in my reality, where my mother would say, you can't have this, Lynn, and your feelings don't matter, and you'll never have that, and we don't have enough money for this, and you look hideous in that, and all those things. And when you're a little kid, man, whoa, emotionally this kicks your ass in your heart for you. Yeah. We all got some kinds of shit like this going on in different variations in different ways. It's infinite, just like all that is God, just like our souls that are geniuses of God and are God. Love energy. Yeah. So this all is subconscious energy. So I will do layers and layers and layers and layers of emotional healing and clearing, because I'm a super fucking old soul and I'm impatient as all fucking hell. I will tell you this, because I want my shit like I want it yesterday, because I'm magic and I create magic instantly. This is what I do. This is who you guys are, man. So when my body and Saturn are giving me the shitstorm of, that's not happening right now, Lynn, it makes me fucking crazy. So what do? I ask God to clear it out. I ask God to heal it. But I'm also working on my stuff because I want to be free of being unwell. Yeah. And all this emotional stuff doesn't necessarily mean I have to put it in words to explain it to you. I don't. I just have to know that it's there and ask love to be free of it. And if I want to know what those things are, I ask God. I ask love. And the answers always come in. Always. So this is the work that we're doing. It's our deepest, darkest stuff in the second house, which is Taurus, which is our worth, right? When you have a mom or somebody in your life that is sick or unwell or isn't there for you, it makes you feel like what? Shit about you. Well, maybe if I was better, this wouldn't have happened. Maybe it's my fault that this happened, right? Just like little kids, when you see them get divorced, right? And they go, well, they're getting divorced because of me. It's my fault. If only I could have been better. If only I could have been a better kid. whoa, heavy on your heart. And then what happens? You carry that energy of you're never good enough in so many multiple ways. And it remanifests in this reality from your childhood. But it's really been in your soul for lifetimes, right? And you're working on clearing it out, because that's why you came to this earth world, because you can't stay here and not be in your heart and change the planet. If you don't get rid of this shit, it's kind of like God giving you an ultimatum and you signed on for it, because God doesn't tell you what to do. Nobody does. You follow your heart. You listen to your heart and your God connection, and you do what you feel you should do, as we all do, regardless of what anybody else says, you know? Truth of God and love. We are all responsible for our own shit, no matter if Susan over there tells me to jump off the Brooklyn Bridge. It's my choice whether I do it or not. Just like all the information you get on the show, it's your choice. What do you feel in your heart? What do you believe? What are you going to do? Ultimately, you're responsible for all your own decisions, not me. You are. My job is to share with you highest knowing from love, so that you can make your best choices and know and have the gifts and tools for everything you need to have your greatest life. And this is what I do. This is what I teach. This is what I live. Yeah, great shit. Incredible shit. And I've lived many lifetimes to figure this shit out. And that's why I have lots and lots of like battle scars or pain and suffering, right? In these spaces. Right, in my physical body, because it hurts so much emotionally, apparently worse for my soul emotionally than it does physically in my body. Okay, so my soul has opted in this lifetime to go through great physical suffering to be well. Motherfucker, that it is. Kick my ass, why don't you? Free me from this now, please, God, from love, right? All right, so that said, Teresa, this is what's going on, a variation of some of this, releasing some of this stuff, yeah? And we're all going through it. We are all going through it. Amazing, amazing, amazing times. All right, girl. This starts the ball rolling. You can look in your solar return chart. You can PM me if you want to. Talk to me about it here. Later on, you can do it yourself. It behooves us all to take a look at our solar return charts, because we will see what's coming into the future. And you can bring them here if you want to do a reading with me right here, and we'll pull it up either on my iPad or on my phone. I think my phone's like a little short on battery tonight because it's its own living fuck storm. It just is that. All right. So thanks, God. Thanks just for fucking everything. All right. So who's next?
Crystal Ferrier is. She's been having a rough time. She says that life's really been knocking her down lately. Yeah. She says, I have to have one more surgery. Lost my job when I found out. My voice said, wait to get a new one. And she says, I hope this is God's way. So I was wondering if you could maybe give her some insight.
Yeah, I'm a little, I'm not understanding. Hi, Crystal. Thanks for coming.
She said she shared our video.
Thank you.
That was cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Terrific. Can you reread the question or maybe word it in a different way so I understand better? I understand that she's going through some challenges, but so my question is she asking me about any of these things? Is she asking, is it going to be better, or what exactly is she asking? Because these times, this is what's happening.
She didn't really put it into a question. I'm asking you to maybe give some insight from spirit for her. All right, prayers and stuff like that.
So can you reread that so we're on the same page? Thanks.
So I have to have one more surgery. Lost my job when found out. My voice said, wait to get a new one. And then she says, I hope this was God's way.
But wait to get a new what?
I feel like a new job. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have to recover. You have to take care of your health first. Without your health is your wealth, right? So without that, there is no job. Not really. Let's see. Yeah, we're all going through it, and this is all part of that. Remember, this too shall pass. Your best tools, Crystal, are to pray on everything. Ask God, change this, clear this, heal this. Give me the best space to go, the best way to handle this, the best of everything I need. If I'm supposed to rest, then let me do it. Even if you don't understand or get the answers in the quickest way that you need to, trust universe. Ask universe that if this is what you, and when I say when you need to get the answers, right, all I'm talking about is when it's in a certain way that you think it needs to be. Sometimes in these times especially, those answers are not going to come in right away when you want them to. It's about trusting universe. It's about trusting God. It's about trusting your inner knowing. And your subconscious soul always runs the show, so it will take over. So ask universe in reference to all these things with you to do the best thing for you from love, and let your soul guide you there to do it. Ask to understand it. Ask to know. Ask to do it. You don't even have to know in the moment, and just listen to your heart, and it will guide you to those things that you should do. Just like they said, don't go for another job, if that's what I'm interpreting this as correct, but that's what's coming in as well. Don't. You have to heal from this first. You have to take care of your health too, and we are all going through phases of beefing up and taking care of our health and reevaluating our health, our hearts, our self-worth. So this is all part of that, girl. You are not alone. You're not alone. We're all going through variations of all of this. And so you are really right in alignment with where you need to be. And do this. Start asking for those things for you, and just follow your heart and trust that whatever it is that you do, you are doing what you're supposed to be doing in alignment with highest knowing of love with your soul, and you ask God for that. Thank you, God, for that for us, because your subconscious soul runs the show. Always. Okay? And thank you, God, for that for us. And then I don't even have to figure it out. But then maybe a day from now, all the answers, all the information will pour in as soon as I let it go. When I want and need something so bad, right? I got to know this. I got to know this, God. The more I want something and want to know it so bad, then I push it away, right? But if I just say, okay, God, I need to know this. Thank you for me knowing this. Thank you for me releasing this. Thank you for me being happy no matter what happens. And the second I say, let me be happy no matter what happens, boom. The answer usually comes right in if it's authentic, that I'm letting go of it. Do you see? So this is all part of the process of knowing how to do this kind of stuff, working with universe in the healthiest, best way to get your best results, but being authentically in your heart at the same time when you do it. Okay? All right, girl. So those are the answers that come in for you that will guide you and help you with all of this. And better times are coming. And the more you do this, and the more you talk to universe, the more you work with love, these challenges will start to go away. This is how it works. And they will never be as bad or as difficult or as rough or as toxic or as unwell as before you started doing this truly. And that's for all of us. For all of us. Because I can tell you that with all the difficulties I have, I got God in a space that I never had God before in my life. And anytime I have a problem, boom, thanks God for changing this for me. And nothing is as bad. Show me a different way to see it, God. Show me a different way to understand it. Clear me from feeling shitty about this. Clear this. Change this. Create this. To love. If I don't know what to ask for, I just ask love to do what's best for me. And this is that. Yeah. All right. So who's next? Got another question, Jen or Ray?
Angela Pearl is next.
Mm-hmm.
She's looking for a fiver in regards to what kind of changes she's going to be seeing in her life over the next years, and some tips on how she can best grow, within herself.
All right. All right. Hi, Angela Pearl. Hi, girl. Let me see. All right, God. Does she have her birth date?
Nope, I can let you know when she typed it in.
Yeah, Angela, could you give me your birth date? And guys, when you ask a question, put in your birth date if you can, because that just helps us get even more information from the universe in different ways for you. Okay? Let's see. Interesting enough, we've probably talked about this before, Angela. Got a birth date?
July 28th, 1985.
Pearls of Wisdom. Basically, this whole show is really about I'm going to ask you that again in a minute, Ray. This whole show is really about giving everybody a rehasher, or re-giving everybody the tools and reminding you of these tools in these times for everything that's going on in your life. So when you say, how do I work on me, Angela Pearl, all the things that we've already said, you look at your solar return chart, because that's in the now, right? You can also do things like cards, right? Tarot cards, right? That if you know anything about tarot, a lot of them are based in astrology, so you could do that as well to see the placements and the things that would behoove you to work on, right? Same thing, astrology dice, right? Ask love, what's the best placement to clear, heal, change, work on in you? Like this says the sun and the south node, right? So we have the sun and we have the south node. I would look into those two placements and I would look at them conjunct, right? I would look into the 5th house. I'd look into anywhere my south node was or aspects made there, as well as the sun, right? Anything having to do with the sun is you in astrology. It is also the father, okay? Like Saturn also represents the father, and the moon represents the mother in astrology. So, and the nodes go with the moon, and the south node is your past, okay? So this tells me right here there's lots of work to do in you, which is in reference to the past, which is your 12th house, that is Pisces, okay? And there will be, so many different things in your solar return chart as well, which tell you about the now. Same thing with the dice and same thing with cards. These are great ways for all of us to pull stuff out of the hat of universe to work on what we can heal in ourselves in that moment. What is the best healing, the best tools for me right now to be free of, to change, to address, to know about. And the universe will show you those things through the astrology in Earth World, whether you use your natal chart, whether you use your solar return, your subconscious chart, and all the avenues of astrology that universe has guided me to work with, okay, including the dice or the cards or whatever, So this comes in for you in the next 2 to 3 years to really look at this. And it doesn't mean you have to do what we do or teach what we do or teach it or anything. If you like it, you do it. You feel it in your heart. But this will give all of you ways to really connect and put into words the energies that you feel in yourself that are toxic fucking energies. And you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of like, people say to me, I don't know why, but I always have to have an affair. I can never stay with the same guy. Why is it that I do this? Well, somewhere in you, more often than not, right, there's some kind of energy going on that makes you not be able to stop that, right? Like the guy who can't quit drinking, or the guy who can't quit doing drugs, or the behaviors that we have that run in cycles in us that we go, why do we do that? And we know that it's an energy and we can't even help it, right? But the astrology will help you put it in words. With these things that we just talked about now, your Black Moon Lilith, right? Right now there's a transit Black Moon Lilith in Cancer. Look at it, guys. It's hardcore. It's like, whoa, right? And it has to do with the mother. So, of course, it's going to hit me hard, right? And I'm still working on healing my relationship with my mother, but it's really not my mother's shit. It's my shit. It's how do I heal this relationship out here? Because I love my mom and I want the best relationship, but I must heal me in here to make that happen. And I pray for that. I ask love energy, because all prayer is words, thoughts, emotions that talk to highest knowing, highest love energy power to create what you want to happen and working with that energy. That's all it is, really. And religion has taken it and put it into different ways throughout history, throughout time. There's all different ways to do anything and everything that is God. So you do it in the way that you feel best. But what we do here is what you will learn on this page and how we do it. Just talking to God, that's all it is. Talking to love energy, putting that energy out there. I think I read somewhere, I don't know if it was Thoth, an Egyptian god. Is it Thoth, I thought? I'm not sure if it is, but there was somebody who said that that's where this comes from, Egyptian lifetimes, which is really interesting. This is one avenue, okay, where this comes from, but it also comes from Christ's teachings, if you think about it. Ask and you shall receive. What did Christ say? Heavenly Father, right? Ask the Heavenly Father. Ask and you shall receive. Yeah. Trust, know, ask, do, it is so. And what did they say? Amen. So be it, right? Okay, so going back to your reading, these are some great placements, great ways to handle all of this, to do all this work, to get into healing you in the next 2 to 3 years. And as you do this, you will open up, and just like your last name, Angela Pearl. Angela is an old world name. It's complex. Angela, it has like 3 syllables, so you came in with a lot of shit. This tells me you're an old soul. You have more syllables. The longer the name, the more stuff you got going on, the more stuff you came in with, right? So when people say to me, I'm going to take on 5 last names, I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it, because then you become that, right? Just like if your last name is trash, I'm going to tell you to change it if you can, right? If your last name is wealth, I might say, keep that last name, in a positive light. Yeah, but to give you an idea, because everything is metaphysical. Everything is metaphysical. So going back to your name, you came in with a lot of stuff. But the Pearl, Angela Pearl, right? The beginning of your name, we've talked about this. The beginning, your first name is who you came in as. The middle is how you transform and you grow and change in the middle of your life. And the end of your life, your middle name is the middle of your life. The end of your life is the ending. And what you do with it is up to you. Pearls is wealth. That's a good last name. I would keep that last name, in a positive, healthy way, because wealth isn't just about dollars and literal pearls of wisdom, pearls, to wear, wealth, right? So there's multiple wonderful things. I feel like you're going to go on this path. You're already on this path. And in the end, of course, with pearls is white and shiny and beautiful and amazing and everything that is God and love and light. And so enlightenment, for sure, highest levels of enlightenment, I feel, are coming for you, which is fantastic. And it can't not happen if you do, especially what we teach. And it doesn't mean you lose who you are. You ask love energy to know who you are, to be who you are, who your soul came in to be, and to put you in touch back again with what you love and your dreams and who you are and everything that your soul's journey is supposed to be going to. Thank you, God, for that for us, all of us here, right? That said, I feel like you're going to be working on yourself in the next 2 to 3 years. You're going through the same phases we are. Some challenging times, lots of healing, lots of rest in these times for summertime. I still feel like, when people say a black swan event, it's just more of those events, just bigger bits and pieces of bigger events that are coming, like the destruction of the economy, and it is, all of this is happening. So, but I do feel like there's going to be a bigger event, just like a stock market crash in the fall. They may try to reintroduce that new currency. And when that happens, there's going to be lots of massive change in the people and in society and reactions and things like that. This comes in the next 2 to 3 years, as well as it really comes in really strongly for this September, October. Okay. And this makes sense hugely in astrology because Uranus is heading out of Taurus and into Gemini. And with this, in your biggest changes in astrology, as things cusp new signs, new houses, as planets cusp things, that's when they're at some of their most powerful. All right. So, and the cusp is 5 to 10 degrees out from wherever from the 0 degree mark between signs and between houses in astrology. So, excuse me, in the transit chart or in the transits of the planets, Uranus is moving into Gemini and it's cusping right now. So this is going to bring some of our biggest, darkest financial challenges with this. Now, it doesn't mean that they will necessarily be physical. They can be, and there's a propensity for this, like I said, in Virgo time and Libra, Scorpio time. So September, October calendar year time. I call it calendar year time, guided by higher knowing. So there's a great propensity for these changes to come in. So I do feel you're going to be resting, you're going to be working on your stuff, you're going to be taking care of you, and new learning, new doorways are going to open up, new avenues. If you have not asked God for these things, ask God for them as soon as possible to create them to happen. And this isn't just for you, this is for everybody. All right? you, Angela, this is for everybody, to go on this path. And at different vibrations, at different times, these things will happen, and these things are coming for everybody. Basically, I feel like you're preparing, we're all preparing in multiple different ways. We're getting our health in order, as well as, our security, our supplies, that's Capricorn, Cancer, our families, what our plans is, do we have plans? Also, you're going to be stepping into new doorways of healing gifts. Books come in for you. Books, do you do anything with books? Books and writing, and tapping into those spaces for you. Books, writing, new wisdom, journaling, dreaming, medium work, understanding death on a different level that most people don't understand. And there's something about you pulling out stuff from the depths of hell. So I think you have some stories that you're going to tap into through dreams into the future, where you literally experience some big shit darkness that's going to come out of you. And when I say come out of you, meaning you're going to have stories to write. It doesn't mean that it's going to torment. You might wake up at one night or two nights with freaky, you know what I mean? Like, you guys, you know what I'm talking about? Like when you get that astral travel shit going on when you're sleeping and you're in deep sleep and you wake up and you're like, holy shit, and you don't know where the fuck you are. Right. Kind of like you feel like that. So, I feel like that's, but that's also part of the healing, part of the releasing, and part of all of this. What are you laughing at?
Mark just sent some dancing cow on the comments.
Oh, I saw that.
What it was.
Mark, you're too much. We love you, Mark. All right. So I do see these things coming in for you. In Earth World, I feel like it's going to be pretty methodical and pretty kind of boring and, so to speak, and traditional, because we are all living in an illusion right now, and we're living between different realities. And at some point, it's kind of like the bubble's going to burst in different ways at different times. And new world, and when I say new world order, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be their new world order, because there's also lots of other planets that are coming that are cusping. I believe Pluto is going into Aquarius from Capricorn. Neptune is going to go into Aries. Oh boy, that's going to be fun, because Aries is the warrior. So you're going to have a lot of people with causes that are going to be convoluted, but there's also going to be people who are going to come up and rise to the occasion for what is going on here in the world. So during this time of Neptune and Aries is your greatest propensity, especially with this cusp, 5 degrees out, 5 degrees in, for government takeovers, for action, malicious type of stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes down. But remember, no matter what happens, a lot of this action stuff or violence or warrior stuff that would be brought in by Neptune and Pisces, or not Neptune and Pisces, Neptune and Aries, it is going to bring in these areas where your lowest vibrational areas, inner city stuff, the city stuff, all the spaces, right, in let's say Earth world and around the world that have had the propensity for violence, lower vibrational, toxic kind of shit, is where a lot of this stuff is going to break out. There will be communities and people coming together, so it's not all like doom, right? No, love energy wins. So the people will be helping each other, the people will be coming together, and there will be good forms of people protecting each other, being there for each other, because it's not just about you standing alone, it's about all of us. It's about all of us coming together for love, because that's what destroys the darkness. Okay, so that said, we're going to be preparing for whatever comes, but this is some of the stuff that as things go on in the astrology, and you can look up these placements because you'll get a better idea what happened through history, like the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, where people are divided, where people are at odds, because these energies in the stars are creating this, okay? Make no bones about it. You can look it up. You can Google it. You can read more into it. Get 4 or 5 people, different astrologers who wrote different things. You'll see. And you'll see what you feel is the truth and what resonates for you. You'll see what happened in the past during the same kinds of transits in astrology, as well as what they will predict for the future coming in. And you'll know in your heart what feels right and what doesn't. But ultimately, God is infinite, and 1,000,001 infinite things can happen. But the more you're in your heart, it could be fucking, God forbid, like a hero Hiroshima, and you'll be standing, and your house will be standing, and you will be fine because you asked God for that from love, no matter what. So that's why we're doing this. That's why this is so important, because you have all the power and you'll be super protected. The more you work with love, the higher you vibrate, the more this darkness can't get you. Truth, right? So I do see lots of really cool things coming for you, Angela, spiritually and in your earth world life. Just things going on with family and friends and, kind of reconnecting with people, figuring out who your people are, releasing people, letting go of people who no longer serve you, moving into the new life, the new you, the new world, doing spiritual kinds of stuff, spiritual meaning as a healer, sharing the stuff that's the new stuff that's going to come in. It's going to be pretty exciting. If you live any kind of metaphysical life out there, you guys, it's a lot of fucking fun, right? It's like every day I wake up and I never know what new cool shit is going to happen. Just like when I went to that, that one house with the ghost, and I told the woman, oh yeah, we got rid of the ghost, she left, the ghost left, and then I go out to my car and the ghost is sitting in the car with me. Remember that story? Yeah. So exciting things like this are coming in for everybody when you're in your heart, when you remove your blocks, and when you open your gifts, when you work with God, because this is all coming for the new world. It's all about humanitarian work. It's all about coming together from love. So things are not going to happen in the way that the darkness thinks. They're going to try like a motherfucker, but love wins. God is all the power. Love is all the power, right? Okay, so I hope you like your reading, Angela. I went in and out of a whole bunch of stuff, but they're telling me you were wondering about this kind of stuff, what was coming, and so was everybody else, right? Okay, so who's next?
Rachel wanted me to tell you it's 8:40.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal said thank you so much for her reading. She said it really put her at ease and made her feel a lot better.
Cool. Good for you, Crystal. Just know, all you guys, thank you, and know that you're not alone. We got this. We're a team God, team love. Yeah, that's us. And thank you, Crystal. Thank you for thanking us. Thank you too. Thank you for your support and for coming, and to all you guys. Any last question? Anybody have?
I see two more.
Okay.
Sarah Noble was asking about the astrology dice.
Okay. So what does she want to know?
I just think she was asking what dice are those. I think she wanted to see them.
Well, these are the astrology dice. I've showed them before. I love these particular ones because they're glass. There's ones that they make on resin. We sell them in our shop, but you can also, I've had a hard time in these times getting the glass ones again. They're my favorite. There's something like crystal clear about glass, right? But there's nice resin ones as well that you can get. You can Google, you can get them on the internet, and you can get them from us as well. They're really cool things. I think they can come in sets of 3. I use them in 2, for the most part, guided by higher knowing for what I need to do, but you can use them in, of course, most definitely in the way that you feel, you know what I mean, in your heart. Okay. Let's see. So, they're cool shit. They definitely are. Okay, Jem?
And then Jennifer Custer, formerly known as Jennifer Lloyd, so you know who we're talking about. She said she's unexpectedly moving in August, still in Ocean City. She wants to know if this will be her forever home in this lifetime. And she did give her birth date.
What's your birth date?
12/4/72.
Yeah, no, this won't be your forever home, baby. 12/4 tells me Sagittarius. So you have a lot of Sagittarius rising, and one of the biggest things about Sag is they travel all over the fucking place. They're travelers. So I feel like you may be here for a while, but ultimately I feel you will be traveling. I feel like you're going to be world traveling. I also feel that you will possibly, for the end of your life, finish it out in another country. In other words, in another country, another land. Obviously, it has to resonate with you. but anybody who has Sag placements has a propensity, just like me having Sag rising. Before COVID-19, I traveled all over the country. I can't fucking sit still, right? So this is some of that energy, that's Sag, that's Gemini, always needing to go out and be and do and be stimulated, right? Mentally, and with Aries energy, of course, action, right? But the Sag energy lends itself in your chart 63 to 68 to 73 to 78% in your soul. You are most likely going to travel into the future, do different things, go all over the world, actually have a really fun life. I do see this for you, but I also see you completing your life in a foreign land, but one that you're going to love and that you're going to be happy that you made these choices and this decision. But for now, I feel like you're going to move there, and it's going to be for a while because some other circumstances are going to come up that are going to be the catalyst for change for you. And it could be that they're in the collective, and it could be that they're in your personal life, but it most likely will be like what we call here in our family, our spiritual family, right? We call it D, all of the above. So it feels like those will be catalysts for you. All right, so there you go. Is that the last one?
Yeah.
Okay, and one more thing for tonight, which I don't want to forget, and some of you who were in my class the other night know about this. We talked about that cool astrology, the latest cool astrology book Universe has led us to for really cool shit to learn, and it's very practical. It's so fucking easy. That's what I love the most about it. Just like what we do, talk to God, talk to love. It's so simple. It's not all this other garbage in between that. It's like direct, it's logical, it's simple, it's to the point. And everything simple is just the best way to communicate. Simple is always better. Same thing with art, simple is always better. It's just easier to read, right? And it's a form of communication. That said, I just want to tell you about the shit that we got on Bill Gates the other day, because you will just fucking die. When was his birthday? Do you know what his birthday was?
I don't know. I can look it up.
Yeah, could you, Ray? Because as many of you know, Bill Gates is a big catalyst of the elitists that is known for being behind the scenes of climate change and all the crazy shit that's going on here, right?
It's October 28th, 1955.
Yeah, he's October 28th, 1955. So Bill Gates is, let's see, the 23rd is the changeover from Libra to Scorpio, and he's born on the 28th. He's 5 days before, or 5 days after the changeover, which is the cusp. So he is a Scorpio Libra in his energy, okay? What's so fucking funny is my birthday is the 19th of October, right? And I'm a Libra Scorpio, right? Just interesting shit, right? So I'm like, that said, even more interesting things, I just found that just interesting, right? That he was a Scorpio, right? And he has the Libra stuff in them, so it makes me go, whoa, what?
Andrea goes, I'm October 28th, 1985. Oh, I lost it. 1988, I think she said.
Yeah, October 28th. Yeah. Okay. So, but to leave you with even more really cool information, I just found that fascinating. He's a cusper. And getting more into it with Universe, what we discovered, his full name is it William Henry Gates?
So, yeah.
Right. So we were going through, working on the astrology, working with the book, working with Universe like we do in all of our classes. We work with different things, different tools. And I believe that his name is William Henry Gates. And they were talking about him and his placements in his chart in this book, and that's how we came about it. And you guys all know that he's very orchestrative with the darkness that's going on in this planet. If you look him up and all the crap that you can find out about him, you have got to say that all of this cannot be a lie, right? However, what Universe said to me, which is super fucking fascinating, the fact that he has William. There's a prince in this reality named William. Do you know who he is? Remember Kate and William in England? Yeah, right? So Prince, like Prince of Darkness. Prince, right? Prince William. So that tells you royalty name. This energy comes with this, and this is what Universe said to me. The middle name, I believe, is Henry. Henry VIII. Henry. King energy comes in with this, right? So if you have Henry, you have lots, think about all those kings, and look this shit up, people. There's kings that are William name, and then there's kings that are Henry name, right? So Henry is a lot of violent kings that are named Henry, right? And darkness comes with that name, as well as kingdoms, royalty, right? But then here's the biggest kicker of all, right? So we have William, Henry, and then we have gates. And this is all higher knowing of God. And what are the gates? And I thought, holy shit. They said to me, the gates of hell. That's fucking crazy. The gates of hell. Bill Gates. Crazy shit, right? Crazy shit. Everything is right there in the energy of all that we are. And in this case, in his name. And if you look in the astrology of his chart, he's literally void of lots of really wild placements that we can talk about, meaning wild placements that cause him to not be able to give a shit about humanity. What is the thing that he's void of most? Do you know what they talked about? Was it Earth?
I don't remember.
Yeah, he's either, I have to look it up to get you guys the facts, and I could pull out the book, but the bottom line is he's void of an element that creates him to see things in only his way, and it explains so much about his character, of who he is and why he is doing what he's doing in the astrology. So next week I can bring that up, but I wanted to share this shit with you guys because it's really incredible stuff. And this is what I'm talking about. God brings you all the answers. Ask and you shall receive. I'm looking through that book and I'm like, what is Bill Gates doing here? Right? What does that mean? And I don't even have to ask about it. And the universe goes, gates of hell. What does gates mean? Gates of hell. And then they show me William, and then they show me Henry, and they show me how it relates to this earth world and what is going on. Right? So just know this, right? It's cool shit. Cool shit. Highest metaphysical levels. Everything is messages from God and love in our reality, and gifts and tools for us to understand things differently. And you can look up his chart. You can see these things, such as people who are void of air placements, right? They have a really difficult time having relationships with people, right? If you're void in the air houses and you are void in the air placements, right, then you have a really hard time with relationships with people, right? You can't really have an in-depth relationship, or you will be challenged in these areas. Really neat stuff. Just like having no earth in astrology. What does that show you? Having no earth in astrology, more often than not, it takes away your ability to follow through. So you could have all these big dreams, but you really can't get the job done in earth world. Holy shit. Or having less earth, right? Crazy stuff. Same thing with fire. The reason, everybody loves my shows and loves when I talk, because I'm super fucking passionate. Without fire, which is passion, I got nothing. I need a flame under my ass to get me going, right? Because passion is fire energy. People who have, and I'm sure all of you know people who don't have any fire in their charts, because there's like this and there's no excitement and it's just like this and yeah, because there's no fucking passion. Same thing, right? With water signs, right? Void of emotion. Void of emotion. Whoa. Crazy shit, right? But it doesn't just manifest in the ways that I'm speaking here. This just gives you an idea of what we're talking about and why, you can find so many answers in astrology over and over and over and over and over, right? But you can have other placements in your chart that can pick up and be those gifts for you in place of this. Absolutely, right? So, but it's just really fascinating stuff to learn all this stuff. And Bill Gates is one of these people, right? I know people in my lives, like my exes. One of them has no air signs, so he can't really have a relationship with anybody. That's why he's on his sixth wife. That's why my shaman said to me, Lynn, this man is no good partner for anyone. Way back in the day, that's what she said to me, Now, when I study astrology, man, I look at his chart, I'm like, boom, 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 boom with God. I just ask God, show me what I need to see. And his whole entire psychology of everything that is him and his soul and everything that he is right there in front of my face. That would explain why he would have a military career. Why? Because in the military, you don't really have long, in-depth, scorpionic relationships that are powerful and bonding. In the military, you do what you're told, it's quick, you do this, you have a whole protocol, but you really don't have any kind of healthy give and take relationships in there. You do what you're told, right? Yeah. And if you do a good job and you're great at what you do, you move up, right? But, so that would make sense as a military career, being a career for somebody who can't have long-term extensive relationships in any way, shape, or form, or in a positive, healthy way, because they don't have those placements in their charts. Wicked cool shit. So we did a surprise class on Tuesday with all of this stuff. It was incredible. Again, you can read more about it in this really fascinating book. There's tons of shit to learn. They got like 6 or 7 books. Here it is, guys. You can see what I'm talking about, the Bill Gates shit. Incredible stuff. Now, they didn't tell you the name stuff. Universe told me that to share with you as I'm going into that, because as we open one door, Universe fills us with information and really great stuff all the time. That's how it works for all of us. All right. So that said, thank you all for coming. Our plan is to be here next Wednesday night for our live talk forum, 7:15. Bring your questions and anything else you want to elaborate on and talk about. Thank you all for coming. I wish you the best night. Thanks for supporting us. We love you guys. Share our shit and let's change the world to love in the healthiest way. Thanks so much.